Everywhere I turn, I seem to be getting an ad from the newest expert on the block. They're hurling around the promise of making me unbelievably rich as pictures of Aston Martins and Lamborghinis flash across the screen, or broadcasting that they have the secret code to 10xing my business, followed by a massive oceanfront estate in Palm Beach. Here's what troubles me. Often these videos claiming to offer a 100% money-back guarantee of achieving your wildest dreams are of low production value that looks like nothing more than a built-in webcam and a basic ring light shot in a low-cost room rental out of Pawnee, Indiana. Now, is a low-quality production a leading indicator of a low-quality investment? No, not necessarily, but here's what I find fascinating. People invest almost no time in making a sound decision before throwing down cash on a whim that a self-proclaimed expert gives them the promise of a better tomorrow. This is evidenced recently by the nearly $4.4 trillion wellness economy that is filled with health and wealth experts and life coaching gurus. In fact, business and life coaching alone garnered an estimated $20 billion and is slated to grow upwards at 10% each year. Today I'm here to discuss the pitfalls of following the self-proclaimed gurus blindly and how to discern genuine expertise. So why do I tell you all of this? Well, history repeats itself. Think back to 1849. Actually, rewind 1 year before that even, 1848. The entire territory of California was home to approximately 14,000 settlers. Then, one mild January day in Coloma, California, everything changed. In a sun-drenched creek, a Mr. James W. Marshall uncovered flakes gleaming with a rich, honeyed luster, their surface sparkling like tiny suns. The dense metallic fragments, heavy and smooth, contrast starkly with the dull riverbed stones. Cradling these sun-kissed treasures, he felt a rush of triumph, holding the promise of prosperity and dreams realized. They tried to keep Marshall's findings at Sutter's Mill quiet, but the discovery of gold flakes spread like wildfire. In under a year, California's population nearly 10x from 14,000 to more than 100,000 people. Today, California remains the most populous state with approximately 40 million people. That's nearly 30% more than its next closest contender, Texas. You might be asking, so what exactly does the 1849 gold rush have to do with the countless ads that are bombarding me for the promise of a better tomorrow? Well, as I said, history repeats itself. Think about it. Snake oil, the railroad industry, oil tycoons, automotive growth, telecommunication transformation, the dot-com boom, the real estate bubble, cryptocurrency, and blockchain. It's human nature to gravitate toward alleged success. Without doubt, each of these moments in history have reshaped the trajectory of humankind in a monumental way. Each of these eras have minted new millionaires and even billionaires. However, where one success was born, an entire legion of success-crazed dreamers followed. What do I mean by that? Success is so magnetic that people flock to be near success. They will sacrifice their livelihood and at times even relationships just to get closer to success. People up and move to California with the hopes of gold, yet few found any, and even fewer experienced a life-changing event because of it. Hear me out. I am all for dreaming and innovating. I'm all for being opportunistic and making swift decisions to be on the cutting edge. I'm all for being so groundbreaking and earth-shattering, as Steve Jobs would say, that you leave a dent in the universe. At the same time, my hope today is not to share strategies and success tips on how to be more vigilant and staying with the times or being on the forefronts of major breakthroughs. No, quite the opposite. My hope is to offer a word of caution to those that find themselves like the 49ers in a tireless pursuit of a better tomorrow, while offering a stern rebuke to those who are unscrupulously taking advantage of people through the disguise of offering them a shot at benefiting from a momentary boom. First, to those who are simply hopping on the latest trend just to ride it in while making a quick buck from the unassuming people, all to ultimately cash in before paddling back and finding the next trend, just stop. Selling the promise of a better future state will always be there, but doing it to line your pockets is nothing shy of highway robbery. As a quick aside, of course, you can and should charge and make money for your expertise and for your insights when you actually have experiences that can translate into helping someone else profit and get farther in their life. I have no problem with that. In fact, I applaud it. However, claiming to be some guru on the current trend to line your own pockets at the expense of your clients is downright theft. Instead of setting people up for success as you claim, you're robbing them of their time, of their money, and likely setting them back in their journey. People always want more time to focus on what is important in their life. People will always want more money because someone always has more than them. People will always want to feel better. You could sell those formulas, frameworks, and strategies and potions all day long. But what I have found is those very people selling these get-rich-quick schemes or offering outlandish guarantees towards a better tomorrow are simply frauds that couldn't find the gold themselves. So instead, they sell bogus treasure maps and get rich off all the other people in pursuit of the same exact thing. I'm reminded of Clark Stanley. In the 19th century, Clark Stanley was known as the Rattlesnake King, or more commonly today known as the Snake Oil Salesman. Around the same time of the building of the Transcontinental Railroad, Chinese immigrants would bring with them remedies from their motherland. One of the most potent remedies brought by the Chinese laborers was a true snake oil derived from the Chinese water snake. We know now that it was rich in omega-3 acids as well as countless other beneficial elements used in natural medicine today. However, at the time, to most people, it was simply snake oil, and it solved all ailments. It didn't take long before money-hungry scammers entered the scene. Imagine, in the bustling heart of the late 1800s American town square, amid the cacophony of horse-drawn carriages, stood Clark Stanley, the Rattlesnake King, a master of theatrics and persuasion. The energy of an eager crowd gathered around the makeshift stage under the open sky with their eyes wide open with anticipation. Stanley, with his charismatic presence, commanded attention as he brandished live rattlesnakes, his movements deliberate and showy. The air was thick with excitement and a touch of fear as he performed the dramatic act of slaughtering the snakes. The audience was spellbound by his audacity. The smell of the elixir, pungent with turpentine and spices, wafted through the crowd as he made outlandish claims of the healing powers of this miraculous liquid. Stanley's flair for the theatrics, combined with his confident ability to present bold claims, mesmerized audiences, leading them to trust in the efficacy of his dubious product. This is a testament to the idea that often the most showy and charismatic figures are not necessarily the most trustworthy. Sound familiar? The pictures of the private jets, the seemingly lavish vacations and trips, the new money displays of popular name brand luxury clothing and opulent branded accessories, backstage concert passes, sideline passes for top games, pictures in Broadway dressing room with the stars, snapshots on sets in Hollywood. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of these things, but doing them one time and getting a picture doesn't make it your lifestyle. It makes it a marketing piece or a trophy. What Clark Stanley did is what so many predators do when the next big thing is lurking on the horizon. Well, in 1906, Stanley was stopped by what was known as the Pure Food and Drug Act. And yes, you might have guessed it, it was that act that shut Stanley down and ultimately led to the birth of the FDA. Stanley got rich. He made a lot of money off completely unassuming people. He was big and showy and the center of attention for a moment. Then it all came crashing down. He was selling a false dream that he too actually wanted for himself. Ironically, many of these snake oil salespeople are selling the dream that they desire most. Did you catch that? Many of these people selling a better tomorrow are just trying to gain it for themselves. Selling false maps to a gold mine they never found, these peddlers of promise grow rich not on gold but on the golden dreams of others. Now hear this. Everyone has to get their break somewhere. Everyone has to shoot their shot, and on top of that, everyone has to put food on their table and support the roof over their head. So I understand the desire for people to have to sell services beyond their own immediate experiences. But there's a difference between promising to give someone the moon when you don't even have a telescope to see it up close versus promising a playbook to someday potentially get a closer look at the moon. Listen, selling dreams you can deliver is entrepreneurship. Guaranteeing futures you can't reach is mere fantasy. So now, my word of caution and advice. To all of you trying to level up, to grow your business, to find mentors and coaches, there's hope. There is a coach for you. There are a lot of outstanding people out there. But here's the word of advice. If someone hasn't achieved what you're aiming for or hasn't successfully led others to it, their guidance isn't just useless, it's a deliberate act of deception. When you're looking for a coach, a mentor, a consultant, or a partner, find someone who has done what they are promising to do for you. Look for a coach that has already been where it is that you want to go. If you're looking to build a company and get a 10x exit on your investment, look for a coach that has been there. If you're looking to acquire a business, look for someone who's been there. If you want to scale a multinational enterprise with salespeople in all corners of the world, learn from someone who did just that. There are so many incredible mentors, coaches, speakers, thought leaders, and influencers on this planet that have the expertise that you need to hear. They have traveled the road that you are on and can point out the landmines and motion you to find the smoother path. On the flip side, maybe a coach you're considering has not walked where you're hoping to walk, but has guided others on the journey. That's great too. Maybe you are looking for someone to help you through the M&A process. While they may not have started and exited a company, they have helped guide others through a transaction as a broker. But the bottom line is they have actually had the experience they are selling to you. What I have found is that the best coaches and consultants are not having to advertise or market excessively. They certainly don't have to offer any outlandish guarantees that are far beyond their control. The best coaches have strict criteria for the clients they take on. They usually have a waiting list or are working via referrals. They have proven experience coupled with reputable systems and frameworks. However, they always have the insight to lean back on, to custom tailor a program to each client that they serve. Remember, in the pursuit of knowledge, it's crucial to distinguish between buying hope and buying expertise. I'll leave you with this final thought. As my dad would always tell me, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Use common sense and realize that you cannot buy success. There's no one-size-fits-all guaranteed program. Of course, there are strategies and people to help you get there, but proceed with caution. Anyone claiming to be an end-all be-all is simply wrong. It would be like your first grade teacher saying if you just passed your class, you would reach your wildest dreams. It's simply not true. So as you go and build your business, surround yourself with people who will support you on your journey. Look for those who are invested in you and in your success. Choose a guide who has navigated the path that you aspire to tread. True wisdom comes from those who have journeyed, not just dreamed.